Not from human beings.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you believe in God?
I personally don't know.
Right. Why don't you believe in God?
Because I don't have any reason to do. Nothing has ever convinced me.
So
there is not enough evidence for me to believe in God.
So you think this world is a product of nothing?
Not of nothing, especially. I mean, it's quite more complicated.
No, let's discuss that, because this is where.
Look, I'm not a physicist. I'm not going to get into
your
a
philosophy
discussion with you about
your philosophy comes from this belief about who you
No,
are,
no,
whether you're
that's not
created
true.
or not.
That's not true.
It is.
It doesn't matter if there is a God or not. All I say.
It does.
No, not when it
If
comes
God
to what
tells
I'm
you- okay,
saying.
if
Not when,
God-
listen, not when it comes to what I'm saying. I say we should avoid causing unnecessary
I'll tell you
suffering.
very clearly.
Whenever we can, avoid causing any harm to other living creatures that feel pain.
If your
and they
God
can't suffer,
that you
we
believe
should
in tells
try
you it's
avoid
okay
it.
to consume meat, would you argue against your God?
I wouldn't argue against my God if I actually did believe in God, but there is no
If your
religion
God
on
told you.
earth. Listen, there is no religion on earth that dictates you to consume meat.
Where did you get
There
that
is
from?
no
Where
religion
did you
that
get this
says you
from?
have to kill animals.
No, where did you get that
and
from?
maybe, yeah, even if you...
Where did you get that from? Which religion have
I
you
know
studied?
that. Tell me any religion that says
no.
you have to eat meat.
Hang on. Are you saying...
Which religion dictates you have to
Look,
kill
look,
animals
wait.
in order to be a good
You're
religious
confusing
person?
several options.
No, I'm not.
If God allows you to eat what is pure from the animals...
Yeah, exactly. He allows you. He doesn't dictate it. You can still choose to not eat
Listen. Would you have a problem with that? If you believed in God and God allows you to kill animals to consume, but not to go into the extreme and to cause suffering?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem?
I think God...
Would you have a problem?
I think God still wants us to make moral choices, and He wants us to think about His creation. If you
don't
that's
believe
what
in
I
God, how
would-
can you even think
no,
about that?
but I think if I did believe in God, I would probably interpret it that way.
You can't-
I mean, why are you talking to me in religious terms if you don't let me answer your question in religious terms? It doesn't make any sense, right?
Because you don't
But
believe
if-
in God, then
No,
you
I
cannot
don't.
then say, I think
believe.
God will say this or believe in this.
No, but
Because
I
this
still
is coming
think...
from your, what? Guess what?
Wouldn't you say that God actually wanted you to think about His creation? From your perspective, not my perspective. But if you think about what God created, and He created all these creatures on this earth, and some of them have consciousness, some of them can feel pain, some of them can suffer, and other things that He created that we can also eat can't feel pain, they can't suffer. And nowadays, maybe not earlier on, but nowadays we are in a situation where we can actually choose to only eat the things that do not suffer, and it doesn't cause any harm to anyone, to any living creature, right? Wouldn't you think that a good,
Not every
loving
creature.
God,
Make a statement.
wouldn't you think that a good, loving God would rather you didn't cause unnecessary suffering to the creatures that He so well designed and that can feel pain?
See?
Do
So
you
now
see my
you-
point?
I do, and I see what the problem with this point.
Okay.
You're saying God, a loving God, would not allow unnecessary...
No, I didn't say He wouldn't allow. I never said that.
Okay, so if a God allows people to consume meat from animals, you don't have a problem with that in principle.
Okay,
Yes?
think about it this way.
Is
if
it right?
you have, no, not necessarily. Think about it this way. If you have Muhammad, and he had an opportunity, you put Muhammad in a room with a lamb, so a baby sheep. There is a baby sheep, and there is also some lentils and some amazing plant food that are very healthy and don't cause any harm. Would Muhammad go for the lentils, or would he say, no, I'm going to get a knife and slit this lamb's throat?
Very emotional argument. I'll tell you why this doesn't work.
Why would he do
I'll tell
what?
you why it's an emotional
Yeah.
argument. Look, you, for some reason, have become like a robot in your thinking. Sorry to use that analogy. You kill...
I do.
Yeah, you kill millions of bacteria with your antibiotics, and you say...
If it's about bacteria, you kill way more bacteria if you consume animal products because many antibiotics are actually used in animal agriculture.
Because in your thinking, bacteria don't feel any pain. Plants don't feel any pain. It's okay. You become so, desensitized in thinking, you cut the plant and you say, it's not painful. The plant's reacting. I can see that in the graph. The plant's reacting to it.
Would you feel more comfortable slitting a lamb's throat or chop up a carrot?
Listen.
Is there a difference in reaction? What do you feel?
When you look at it, next time you go, when you actually slit the branch from a tree and the tree reacts, and you're saying,
Look, evolutionary speaking, it doesn't
you know,
really make
I'm
sense
like a robot.
for trees or
I'm like a
plants to feel
robot.
pain
I'm
because
going
they
to kill you
can't avoid
anyway.
the situation.
So look, your selective emotion doesn't help. That's the problem with selective emotionalism.
It's not a
You are showing
selective emotion.
selective
It's not
emotionalism.
selective emotion.
Remember what I said earlier on about human beings
it's
like
not a
yourself?
selective
Look,
emotion.
okay.
They feel pain.
Would
That's
you,
what I'm trying to say as well.
brother?
Even if
brother,
let's go down that
no,
path
I want to bring the
then.
example again.
Okay.
Now, should that person feel any pain or emotionalism in slicing you?
If I don't take any harm from it, it's a difficult question, but that's not the situation we're talking
And the difficult
about.
answer is
It's
what?
not-
I want a difficult answer for a difficult
I guess
question.
it's very natural and very humane to actually feel something because you relate to
But you don't
other
feel
human
anything.
beings. Yeah, but if you
don't
are
feel
a
anything.
feeling
Like you don't feel anything for a
emotional,
plant
empathetic
or a bacteria.
person,
Link.
you still relate, right?
No,
so
link,
it's probably
link.
going to do some
You don't feel
psychological
anything for a
harm to
plant.
yourself if you do that. But let's go back to the plant argument because you said you think that's a reasonable.
Apparently they cry as well.
Because you said that's a reasonable argument. I want just to let you guys know that if you decide to eat animals, in order for the animals to grow up and to get big and strong so that we can eat their bodies, they need to consume a shitload of plants. So if we consume animal products, what we have to do is actually we have to grow way more plants, feed the plants to the animals, then kill the animals in order to eat them. So we kill
this
way
is the
more
false
plants.
narrative of veganism today. False narrative.
No, it's not
No.
false.
I'll tell you why it's false.
No, it's not false.
No.
Just make the calculation. It's not
Every
false.
animal needs, every
Let me tell you.
animal needs 18 times more land than someone that's a vegan.
true.
It's 100% right. Absolutely.
It's 100% right.
It's
And
a
if you
very
eat beef,
false
you have
narrative.
every 16 calories that you put into a cow,
4 million years
you
on
only
planet
get
Earth.
1 calorie in return.
Listen.
Okay?
Millions of years on planet Earth.
So it's very unsustainable.
You're not listening. Millions of years on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Without this kind of farming, the animals and plants, they live together in a nice ecosystem.
Yes.
But what we do is not natural. That's not where we get our meat from.
Please. You are
This
not.
is not an
so
argument.
So your argument on the crux is, if, for example, animals are okay in their natural habitat, you can have a nice burger out of them, willingly or by force.
Why should you?
Wait, let me finish.
Why should you kill an animal if you don't have
finish.
to?
Your argument is, we are producing. The production industry for meat is such that, oh, it's not right. But if you now have a natural ecosystem where animals are farmed in a natural way in the ecosystem which is not harmed. You don't need to grow any more plants, you need to have too much, overpopulated or crowded of animals and chicken. Then someone can easily go and say, nice burger out of it, no problem. So the argument eventually comes down not about veganism, it's to do with what? How the meat industry currently is producing meat. What you're arguing for is instead of veganism, is we need a better system of meat production. I agree. But not with veganism.
Like all people agree on that. We get that. But I guess
No, with veganism.
everyone is against
Veganism by
factory
itself
farming, and
is
that's
not
at
an
least
issue.
something. However,
I think I can come to a conclusion.
no,
It's nothing
the
to do with
question, you
veganism,
didn't answer
it's
the,
to do
you
with
did
meat
not
production.
answer the main question. The question is, why would you want to kill an innocent sentient being if you don't have to? And your God doesn't command it or anything. It's your choice. Why would you rather cause harm to an animal, to your own health, and the planet, and your future children,
If
right?
God allows
Why
you
would
to
you
have
do
a
that?
burger from your chicken, and you like chicken burger,
Yeah.
why am I going to deprive you of your freedom and your pleasure from it? Tell me.
So you think taste is worth more than life?
If God allows you for that.
So then taste is worth more
I'm
than life.
asking
What if
again
I
this
say
question.
my God allows me to eat
No, you don't
human
believe
meat?
in God, so you say 11 questions.
No, but no. But it's a thought experiment.
if
What if I
God-
say my God says it's okay to eat humans?
Okay, let's talk about God exists or not. Because
No, let's not talk about that. We had
should
that
talk-
already.
No, we haven't.
had that
We haven't.
already. The
The
question
reason why
is,
the discussion
if
is
you
not
don't,
fruitful
if you
is
don't
because
want
you're
to,
not dealing with the very fundamental aspects of the problem.
if you don't have
Does
to
God
kill
exist or
someone,
not?
why would you kill them? If you don't have to kill someone, if you don't have to cause unnecessary harm, if you don't have to harm our planet, our future generations,
It's not harming the
why
planet.
would you do
Just
that?
because you
Why?
Again,
give me one reason. Give
when
me
a
one
lion
reason. I don't
consumes
think
a zebra, is it harming the animal the planet?
you're not a lion. You didn't
So-
sniff my ass when you
so
got
listen,
here.
listen.
You don't eat your own children. You're not a lion.
Excuse me.
Lions are no moral agents, and we should not look up to them for morality.
When animals are consumed in the
Yeah.
animal kingdom, you
Yeah.
don't have a problem with that.
I didn't say that. I still see the suffering of the animals that are being consumed,
But you
and I
do not
think
have a
for the
problem
animals
with
that are
lion
being
eating a
consumed,
zebra.
it's a horrible thing. But lions or any other carnivorous animals in the wild are not moral agents. They don't have the cognitive capacity to actually think about good and bad, about right and wrong.
Who made it that way? Who made it that way?
Then we
Your
get back
God.
to either evolution or God.
No, no,
but
your
this
God.
is not the question. The question is,
this is
if
the
you
question.
have the choice between not killing and killing, why would you kill and cause a ton of unnecessary suffering?
What about
What if you don't have any option? I mean, this is not the world we live in. I would, if I was like, if I were on a
Okay.
deserted island
Now-
and it was either me or the animal, I would probably kill the animal. I would.
So
I see
she's
that.
okay
I
when
mean,
it comes to
but-
necessity.
No, but this is for
Is that what you're
survival.
saying? So for necessity, it's okay.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm against unnecessary suffering.
Right. So unnecessary is a subjective term, right?
The pain is still going
So
to be
pain was
there.
never
yeah,
an issue then. Oh.
And it's still bad for the animal.
Listen.
Yeah?
I'm really surprised with this concept of veganism that you now propagated. Now, even pain is not an issue.
I never said pain is not an issue.
That's what we established now.
No,
If it's by necessity, you don't care about pain. You kill it and eat it.
no, it's not. No.
You just said it.
I mean,
You
I
just said
would
it.
also eat another human being
No,
if it was for
no,
necessity.
no.
Of course, if
you have,
you're in a situation
no, if you
where
have
it's,
a goat. Oh, so inconsistent.
yeah, but if I don't have to, I would not do it. Have you heard about these plane crashes, for example, where a
So
plane crashed down
inconsistent.
and there were like some people that were injured and they didn't survive, and the other people could either choose to starve or eat the remains of the other person?
Dead bodies then feel pain. But you
Even
just
if
said,
they were still
you just
alive.
said, look at how inconsistent.
Would it be better if all of them died, or would it be better if they killed one member of their crew and ate them
Let me ask you this question.
and would survive?
If you were in a desert island, as you said earlier on, and
not
there was
contradicting
nothing,
myself there.
there's nothing else about this one goat, no other food, to
Yeah.
survive, would you not care about the pain that you're going to inflict on the goat and eat it?
I never said I wouldn't care about their pain. I said I still see the suffering of the animal.
But you still eat it.
I would out of necessity.
Yeah. So out of necessity, you don't care about the pain.
I didn't say I wouldn't care about the pain.
If you
It's
did
the
care about the
same-
pain, you don't eat it.
Why
But
not?
when you eat it, you don't care about the pain. You say it doesn't matter if it's painful or not.
No, that's not true. No, it's not.
If you have a baby to kill or not,
Yeah.
and somebody says, when I kill a baby,
It's about necessarily killing someone
listen.
or not,
If you have
right?
a baby
Yeah.
and you feel like the baby's gonna suffer some pain if I kill it, and
Yeah.
I still kill it anyway,
Yeah,
was the pain and suffering relevant?
of course.
No, it doesn't. You could kill it anyway. It didn't affect you in any way. You killed it.
No, it doesn't affect me, but it affects the baby. And if
It
you
affected
don't
the
have
goat.
to kill the baby, if you
It
don't have
affected
to
the
kill
goat.
the animal, if you don't have to kill a human,
So now,
you
now I
shouldn't
know,
do that.
I know now. Vegans in
I mean,
their
I don't
real
see.
core.
I still don't understand what you think justifies unnecessarily taking the life of another sentient being.
What? Who decides
We don't need to
unnecessary?
justify it, so that's where we go now.
Yeah.
We don't have to justify our actions, so I can just go around and shoot people in the head because I don't have
Who
to
decides
justify my
what is
actions.
unnecessary?
That's like, you know, you're
How is this different? But that's what you say. We don't have to justify actions that harm others. Of course, we do have to justify our actions if other people or animals are involved. If there is another creature involved that does feel pain and that can suffer.
justify eating the animal when you don't have any other options.
When I don't have any other options, that is exactly my justification. That I don't have any other options, right? Because otherwise, I would starve to death, right?
Why?
This
Why?
is
Eat grass.
this is a
Why
reasonable.
can you not eat grass?
If I could eat grass, I would eat grass instead. Yeah.
Why can you not
if
eat
there
grass?
was any fruit or veg.
Why can you not eat grass?
I'm actually. I think I'm not actually sure, but I think physiologically we're not capable of digesting
Oh,
grass. Are we?
physiologically, you're capable of eating meat, and you're saying it's a problem.
No, I think we are not.
You're going back-
No. Listen, I said I am not sure, but I think physiologically we are not capable of digesting grass and living on grass.
We are
If we
capable of eating
were,
meat.
Yes, it's not a reason.
Case closed.
This is not a
Case
justification.
closed.
We are capable
You're
of
made
digesting
to
human
be okay
flesh.
in eating meat that you want to eat.
Yeah, but look, the
Yeah?
fact that we
if you
are
want to eat a
capable.
goat, it's okay, right? Because your body is designed
You
in
could
that way.
still say if you want to eat a human baby,
Because
it's okay because we can digest the human flesh.
But if
This
you don't
is
want
not
to,
an argument.
but if you don't want to, because your
Well,
God tells
yeah,
you
if I
not
want to eat a human baby, it's okay? That's what you're saying?
No, I'm
That's
saying,
what you're saying?
No,
But that
this
is
is why.
exactly what
no,
you're saying. Of
now,
course it
now
is.
let me respond. This is exactly the very reason why I said all of this discussion around.
How is it different? How is
Can I
eating a
answer? Can I
baby
answer?
different from
Can
eating
I
a
answer?
pig?
Can I answer? I don't eat pig anyway. So
From eating a lamb or eating any living
Can I
creature?
answer? As I told you from before, all of those discussions are on the periphery, not dealing with the very fundamental question.
Why would you kill
I eat.
a being if you don't have to?
I eat. For example, I would eat other animals like chicken or a lamb, for example, because I believe in a creator who's allowed me to eat them and
Yeah.
created me in a way to even digest their meat. You don't even believe in a creator.
Do you agree that you can digest human flesh as well?
Listen, I believe my dietary law comes from what?
Do you agree that your physiological
You're not even listening to the
Capable
answer.
of
My
digesting human
dietary
flesh.
allowance doesn't
Yeah.
come from my whims and desires or only from my digestive system. It comes
No,
from.
I'm not saying that.
It comes from.
That's what
a
you are
standard.
saying. You say we can digest meat, therefore it's okay to eat meat.
No, I'm-
We can digest human
No,
flesh.
you
It
need to-
doesn't mean that it's okay to eat humans.
You need to listen to the argument.
Yeah.
I am saying.
Okay, try again.
The justification comes from the creator who created me.
Yeah, but we don't have to talk about that because we don't agree there. It doesn't make any sense to actually go about this topic.
It does, because
I
that's
say
why
we
you
should-
disagree. Veganism comes
No,
with a
I
philosophy.
say we should avoid unnecessary suffering whenever we can. If I
is veganism
have a child here and I can decide
make it
if I want to
simple.
hit the child or I don't, what would be the best option?
If a
Should I
child
hit
was
the
going
child,
to, if a
or should
child
I
was
not
going to
hit the
kill
child?
you, and the only way to stop is
The
to
child
hit him.
is not going to kill. It's just an innocent baby. Shall I kick the baby and step on it and jump on its head, or shall I just leave the baby in?
Leave the baby alone.
Right? Why?
Why? Because you have this moral feelings.
And why should that be any different if there was a baby lamb in front of me?
Because what we're talking about, these creation animals, God created for our benefit.
But if I don't have to, why would I? They
No,
feel pain.
Look,
they
look.
suffer.
You believe
Right?
you believe in evolution as your God. I
Evolution
believe
is
in
not
it.
my God. You really get me wrong on that one if you think evolution is my God.
Doesn't evolution tell you what to do, not to do?
Evolution doesn't. No, evolution has nothing to do with
So,
morality.
what made your brains?
It's nothing.
What made your brains
Evolution
the way
is
it
a
is?
very immoral process.
What made your brain the way it is?
Evolution.
Evolution. Has evolution given you the capacity to be moral?
It has. Yes, in a way.
There
Yeah.
you go. So it's evolution
Yeah,
then.
of course.
So evolution is your
The
God.
capacity, but this doesn't mean that evolution, the process of evolution, is a moral thing.
No,
Evolution
the
is
process of
horrible.
evolution is what made you what you are. So
Yeah.
that's your God.
No, it's not my God.
Okay.
It's not my
Who-
God.
what
I
cre-
don't worship evolution.
Hang on.
I'm not like in favour
So-
of evolutionary processes. I think
so
natural
basically-
selection is a horrible
So
thing.
you believe in God, but you don't worship it. That's the difference.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, you
you're
believe
just
in a
really
God
misunder-
called
I mean, if you
evolution,
want to go on
but-
misunderstanding my point,
I'm
then
not
go on.
misunderstanding it.
My question to you is, why would you kill a sentient being if you don't have to? If you know that it causes suffering to the sentient being, it destroys a planet, which is bad for
I answered all those
for
questions
the future
already.
generations
I
of
said
humans as well.
I answered all
And
of those
it's bad
points
for
already.
your health.
You keep repeating.
Why would you do that? Do
You
you,
keep-
think
you keep
taste is a
repeating.
good enough argument?
You
Do you
keep-
think taste is worth more than
No,
life?
you keep repeating. I've answered all of these questions.
no, you haven't.
It was never to do with pain, because when it's necessity, you're going to eat the animal anyway.
It's not about me. It's about why you
I just
choose
told
to
you.
cause suffering if you don't have to.
I'm not causing suffering.
Of course. If you kill animals, if you eat them, they have to be killed, and that harms them, right?
So if
you are
okay,
against animal
you see-
cruelty, you should not consume animal products.
It comes down again. If God allows us to take the life of animals
Yeah.
for our consumption, you said fundamentally
Now
in
we're back to
principle.
God.
No, this
You're
is
not-
where the discussion should be, because all
Sorry
the
to
way
interrupt
comes
you,
to
but I've
God.
got to go. But 100% agree with everything you said. Every single
Right,
thing that you
thank
said.
you so much. Have a good one.
Yeah. Is veganism true or is it false?
Veganism is an ideology. It
is an
can't be
ideology.
true or
It is
false.
an ideology. It is an ideology.
Like religious belief.
So basically, you've come to accept veganism, and you haven't even explored the history of veganism. Who are vegans?
It's nothing about the history.
does veganism carry a truth value or not? Because a proposition...
If you say that morality... Yeah, yeah.
When you put forth a proposition
Yeah.
that veganism is better than Islam, for instance...
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm giving you a
But yeah,
hypothetical here.
as an example.
You can give any type of hypothetical, any
Yeah.
type of proposition you want
Yeah.
to. When you open your mouth and you make a claim against something else, automatically you've got to affirm that it carries certain truth values. Therefore, it is either true or it's false. That's what the brother's trying to get across to you. When you claim that veganism is more truer than the next best thing... Hold on. When you claim that veganism is more true than the next best thing, you're implicitly stating that your statement is more true than anyone else's. So that's what he's trying to get across to you. Is veganism true? You said no. Veganism is ideology.
It's not a truth claim. What I'm saying is no.
Even that's a truth claim. Anything that you state, any
listen.
word, any sentence that comes out of your mouth in the form of a proposition carries truth values. So
not necessarily. I mean, we could talk about this.
That's the truth claim right there. It's either true or it's false.
Yeah. Okay. Listen. What I say is, we can have this discussion. Like the baseline for every argument I'm making is that I am against unnecessary suffering. If you don't agree, if you do not agree with me on this one, if you don't think that we should avoid suffering, then we don't have to talk about it, right?
That's fine. The reason why I don't think that's a baseline is because when you claim something, if you claim that there's a criteria for suffering, such that anything more than a particular point doesn't constitute suffering, less than a particular point doesn't constitute suffering, what you're actually appealing to is a moral framework, a moral standard. So what that then opens the question up to is, where does your morality come from? And is your moral standard true or more truer than the next person who holds moral standards?
But that depends on whether you think that moral standards can be true at all, whether there is... I mean, then we go to meta-ethics, right? Are we talking about objective morality or is morality subjective and so on, right? That's not where I want to go. That's not what I want to...
It's unavoidable. Because as soon as
no, it's not. If you agree with the statement that unnecessary suffering, whether it's caused to humans or animals, is a bad thing.
By the way,
veganism is the only logical position you can take.
As Muslims, I don't think we would disagree with the fact that if suffering occurs towards someone else, you wouldn't refrain yourself from that, right? Because in Islam, there's no harm and there's no reciprocating harm. So we're not told to go out there and simply harm people for the sake of harming, or animals for the sake of harming. We have standards, but what we understand by those standards is that it's based upon a moral system which is from an absolute source.
Yeah, but the question is, if you don't have to cause harm, why would you?
But once you negate that there is an absolute source for morality, then you can't prove that your moral standing is
and I'm not saying I can. And I don't even say that my moral standards are true or have to be true. No, I'm not being emotional. It's not true. I say, no, look, I just have a different first premise. My first premise is that I think suffering is bad.
That's not first premise.
Yes, it is.
It's a moral viewpoint. And therefore it
call it whatever you might. This is where I start from. I think unnecessary suffering is bad. I think if I have a child here and I hit the child for no particular reason, just because I enjoy it or for whatever, this is a bad thing and I shouldn't do it. Right? If you agree with this statement, if you think hitting children without any reason is a bad thing, you should go vegan. If you listen to anything that I've said today, you should go vegan. If you agree with the fact...
It's not that simple.
If you agree with the viewpoint that unnecessary suffering is bad,
deal with your vegan philosophy. That's what you're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid that.
It's causing unnecessary suffering.
But you see, the problem is you're trying to avoid the underlying philosophy of veganism.
No, it's not about whatever you think the underlying philosophy of veganism is.
When
people go vegan for very different reasons.
It's going to fall apart.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's just that there are so many different people who are vegan and they go vegan for very different reasons.
Your arguments are all emotional.
No, they're not.
That's what we've been discussing all that time.
I mean, I could argue that believing in God is only emotional. You don't have any evidence on this. You don't have more evidence to believe in God than I have to think that unnecessary suffering is bad.
The belief in God is...
Look, I don't want to talk about God because it's nothing to do with me.
Because you know that it's rational. Because you know that it's...
I don't think it's...
Have you been told not to?
Have I been told what?
This is from experience, where you know that as soon as you get to absolute moral standards, that you're going to be exposed in some way?
I don't understand the question.
Your team in veganism, your society of vegan societies, or whatever,
Your society.
have they told you not to go and talk about this?
About what? About religion?
Talk about absolute morality.
There are so many religious people who are vegan. There are even Muslims who are vegan.
Not denying whether there's
Yeah, but this is
religious
nothing
people
to do
who are
with
vegan,
my.
whether there's
This is
atheists who are
nothing to
vegan.
do with my position. That's why I say. I mean, we don't have to agree on any. We don't have to agree on
Your
everything.
position is an emotional one. That's what you're saying.
No,
All along.
no. Look, I was thinking about morality. I do not, like most of you probably. You believe in God, you think morality comes from God, okay? I do not think so. But I do think that unnecessary suffering is bad. I think it's bad to actually hit someone in the face if they don't want to be hit in the face, because it causes them pain and they would like to avoid that. That's like...
So how would you
disciplining someone or
Yeah, so
or
how
just
would you-
hitting
How
someone?
would you objectively prove to someone else who disagrees with you that your position is more true than their position?
I can't.
That's my point.
Yeah,
So-
but neither can you.
But we can. We believe in an absolute standard.
Yeah,
We're
That's
yeah,
why
but
I
you
wanted to
believe,
draw-
that's the key
Okay,
word,
okay, okay.
you believe. But don't you believe that unnecessary suffering is bad? Never ever have I heard from any of you
We've just said
that,
it. We've just
that
said
said,
that
no,
all
I think
unnecessary
unnecessary suffering
But
is great and we should all go around and punch each other in the
Here's
face.
the crux of the matter. What is your definition of
You
unnecessary?
still didn't answer the question.
What is the
I just did. I said
The
You
moment
still
we
didn't
say-
answer my
I
question.
said-
Why would you rather
You
kill
shouldn't
a
even kill
sentient
any
being than not kill a sentient being? Why would you rather cause harm, cause suffering, if you don't have to? If you have the choice to just eat something else instead of something that was breathing and living and feeling joy and pain and happiness, why would you kill that being, cause suffering, damage your own health, and damage the planet and the environment for future generations? Why would you do that? For what reason? Honestly, yeah, no. I'm like the only woman in this circle.
Do you know why your emotions is not appealing to people's intellect? Because it's just an emotional argument.
I think I'm pretty rational about this.
No, no.
Look,
So far,
telling
you've
me that
provided-
I'm emotional
so far,
doesn't
you have
really
provided
debunk
emotional
my
arguments.
argument.
It has. So
No.
far, you talked about pain and you said, if you are in need of necessity, you don't bother about pain, you're going to kill that animal and eat it. So
Yeah.
it is not about because of pain, it seems like because of something else.
No, that's not true. It's not true. I think causing unnecessary suffering is bad, okay? I think we don't have a moral justification to cause suffering to a sentient being if we don't have
It's
to.
our moral statement.
If we don't,
Causing unnecessary suffering is bad, it's our moral statement.
yeah.
Okay. Is your moral statement better than anyone else who disagrees with you?
I did never say that. I say
Then
if
that's
you
your opinion.
agree.
That's your opinion then.
Yeah,
You
so
should
it
not
is
even
your
discuss.
opinion
No,
if
no,
you-
no.
if you
Then
don't
you
agree
cannot
with
even
that.
you cannot
But-
even just say it's better. Oh, let's all be vegan
Look.
because your opinion you don't even know what is in a better or not. It's a
What?
self-defeating concept.
No,
If it's not
true.
better, then why are
I'm
you
not
even
saying
wasting?
it's better.
Then
I
why
never
are
said
you even
that.
asking anyone then?
Why get upset? If it's not better, why get upset?
You don't need to have absolute truth or anything. The only thing you have to accept is that unnecessary suffering is
No,
bad.
but if your opinion, if I disagree with your opinion,
Yeah?
and your opinion and mine are equal,
Yeah.
why are you getting so upset if I disagree with your opinion?
I don't get upset if you disagree with my opinion, but I would like to have a rational discussion with you and listen to your arguments so I can update my own
So-
opinion.
Right, okay, so... are
This
you
is
saying
very
that-
important.
So you're saying that causing harm, so you said that causing harm
Yeah?
unnecessarily is wrong, yes?
I think so, yeah? That's my
What about-
conviction.
What about causing harm to yourself?
Chickens everywhere.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that, guys. Look.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's what we do to these animals. These are sentient creatures, right? They suffer. That's bad, right? We don't have to do that. But if you go to KFC or to any of these places, if you go by to the supermarket, or even if you go by your halal meat, right? These are the circumstances that these birds were raised in.
We should go and buy meat from
You shouldn't
animals which
go
are
buy any
farmed.
meat if you don't have to. Why would you choose to do that if you
Look at
don't
your-
have to?
Look at your fallacy of your arguments now again.
What is my fallacy?
I'll tell you what.
I'm
You
glad
picked up- no, listen.
to learn about my own
Thank you,
fallacy.
thank you. You picked up an example where animals are overcrowded in a very bad environment,
Yeah.
which somehow depicts to you is
But this is where we get our meat from. Yeah, go on.
So it seems to me this particular environment is causing them suffering.
Yeah.
So if I now tell you that I go to a place where I can buy chickens from, we're freely roaming in a nice garden, and then They are all slaughtered, and I have a nice burger out of it. Now,
so you think killing an animal does not harm them? It's
so
not
now-
causing suffering if we kill an animal. Is that your position?
Listen,
That's
so
what
now,
you just said.
Now, your emotional argument is this. You shifted your first premise of unnecessary suffering there in an environment which I agree is unnecessary, and I gave you an environment which was very conducive, very happy environment.
Yeah. So if I have a human being who's very happy.
Excuse me. And then, instead of talking about that initial premise, that, oh, bad condition.
I never said anything about bad conditions.
Okay, what's wrong with that? Tell me.
There is many things wrong with that.
What's wrong with that? What are they?
It causes unnecessary suffering.
What causes unnecessary suffering? What exactly causes unnecessary suffering?
Them being there in this situation, being crowded,
Crowding?
being trampled.
Crowding? A kind of crowding?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I give you an alternative...
Then there will be double the numbers as well, and then double the numbers there.
No,
and
we
then
breed
how are you
them
going to
into
feed them?
existence.
How are you going to feed them?
Chickens don't breed at that rate.
Where are you going to find
They
food to
only
feed them?
exist. There is only
So
so many chickens in the
if I
world.
give you an alternative...
Yeah.
Do you hear my brother? If I give an alternative to crowding, which is not crowding, so that's taken care of, and what else?
Yeah.
Okay, what other
What
problems?
about killing them?
No,
What about killing them? Don't you think killing is causing harm?
Wait.
If you
So-
don't think so,
excuse
why
me.
shouldn't I kill you?
So
If it
now,
doesn't cause any harm?
listen, so now it's shifted from overcrowding to killing. So it doesn't matter whether you are crowding them or not, it's about killing them. That's your argument,
It's
right?
about not causing unnecessary harm. It's about respecting
Ultimately, it's about killing them or not.
It's about respecting sentient life. It's about not causing harm if we don't have to. And we do not have to kill these sentient beings. They value their lives. They feel joy and happiness. They
value
have
their lives.
families just like we have.
So does trees.
Trees don't have families. Trees are not
What kind of
able to
vegan are
feel
you?
emotions.
What kind of vegan are you? Have you not seen the offsprings of the trees?
And even we had that before, even if you think that
not
plants
what
actually
thinking.
can
That's the
feel
reality.
joy and happiness and pain, even if you are
Do you know
very
why you
convinced,
disregard that?
listen, even if you're very convinced that plants can feel pain, you're way better off, especially if you think that, to not consume animal products. Because what do animals eat? The animals that we consume,
now-
they all eat plants. So
now-
if you want to protect plants,
You are actually
the best thing you can
demonstrating
do is
the
only
reasons
eat
why
plants,
you're a
because you
vegan,
don't kill
right?
as many plants
So you're
if
saying,
you only eat plants.
so you're saying,
It's the
suppose
least
now,
suffering you can cause if you only eat plants.
so basically, if you now consume plants by the billions and zillions of trees and shrubs and bushes, yeah, millions and zillions, whole planet Earth, like how many plants there are. If you consume them because there's no animals to consume, you're saying it's not the quantity because quantity is more. You're causing them to suffer because
I
you
never
said,
said anything about quantity.
okay, so you are eating
Yeah.
as you agreed in principle. Suppose they are feeling pain. So now you are eating, consuming millions and zillions of plant life,
Yeah.
and you are saying it's okay because
I'm not saying it's okay.
because comparatively, it's better than eating animals. That's what you're saying, right?
I say yeah, because if you think that plants do feel pain, it's better to cause less harm than to cause more harm. If we have to kill plants to eat ourselves, or kill plants, because we have to kill a lot more plants
So the
to feed
concept
it
is
to the
now
animals.
coming down to causing
Listen,
the least amount of
do you get this?
This
do
is a
you get
principle
this
in
point?
Islam anyway.
Do you get this point? You have to. The animals we consume, they eat plants. So if we want to consume animals, we have to kill way more plants in order to feed to the animals, and then in addition to that, we have to kill the animal, and then we can eat the animal. So we kill more plants and an animal in addition if we want to consume animals.
And that's
And
a
if you
circle of life. What do you want to do?
She doesn't believe in evolution. So one time she does, another time she doesn't.
Where did
Evolution
you get
made it
this
that
from?
way.
The
Evolution.
only thing I always said is I do think that evolution is actually a thing. You are the one not believing in evolution, not me.
Your evolution
And
made
life is not a moral argument.
your
I mean,
evolution made
if
a
the
cycle of
stronger
life
one,
like
if
this
the
when
one with
ecological
power,
system there are this.
is always right. If might is right, this is kind of what you get if you follow the circle of life morality. The circle of life is not anything we want to get our morality.
Is might is right in evolution?
In evolution,
Is might is right?
yeah, it's pretty much the survival of the fittest. It's not really might is right, but it kind of goes into the same direction. Yeah?
So if someone decides to kill other animals, might is
Yeah.
right.
No, I said evolution is nothing to do with morality. Did you listen to me at all? That's what I
Evolution
had
is
to
what
repeat
gave you the
over and
morality.
over again. Come again?
Evolution is what gave you the morality.
Evolution is?
evolution is that gave you the morality?
No, not really. Evolution led to me having a brain, right?
Did
And
you
my
think
brain.
that way, that I'm going to make some brain, I'm going to become a moral agent?